Down the main entrance, and
yes.
Hello.
Yes,
Hello.
Please. Okay. It is a Torbyard on attack in Overwatch League.
Overwatch League Stage 4 starts this week. A series of teams from around the world will compete to win a huge chunk of money and a chance at even more in the grand finals. Whether you play Overwatch yourself or not, it can be hard to follow some of the matches. Overwatch is a complicated game with tons of heroes and abilities and strategies and team compositions. I've got some tips on how to watch the game and figure out who's winning and why. For starters, Overwatch is a game where 2 teams of 6 players compete for an objective. Sometimes that objective is a payload that they have to push to the end of a long map, or a control point that they have to keep a hold of and protect from the enemy team. The objective is the main goal of the game, but eliminations or kills are a close second. When you eliminate an enemy team member, they are sent back to a spawn point that's usually far away from the objective, and they have to wait several seconds to return to the battle. Because it takes so long to come back, if a team loses a member, their odds of winning a fight drop significantly. A team with 6 members against a team with 3 members is incredibly likely to win the fight, simply because there's more people to deal damage quickly to the remaining enemy players. You'll even see teams that lose players early on just jump off to their death or intentionally die to then respawn and regroup with their team. That's called resetting. Considering how important teamwork is in having all 6 players alive, you can basically think of Overwatch League games as a series of team fights, or engagements where both teams use their heroes' unique abilities to defeat the enemy. The objective often comes after a fight, but there are definitely exceptions. Overwatch teamfights can be visually messy, especially when the camera is focused on a fast-paced hero like Tracer or Genji. Thankfully, we have the kill feed in the top right to show us what's actually going on. Each team is color-coded so that you can easily see who is doing what. Even if you don't understand what all the different hero abilities and ultimates are, you can see how they result in eliminations in the kill feed. If a team kills someone first, you can bet that they'll start attacking the enemy more aggressively to try and capitalize on the numbers advantage. Try to keep a count in your head of the amount of players on each team, from 6v6 to 6v4 to 4v4 and so on. More often than not, this is the deciding factor on who wins a fight and who ends up moving on to deal with the objective. You can also see who dies in the team rosters in the top left and right. This list shows the players, their chosen heroes, their health, and their ultimate ability charge percentage. Don't worry too much about the health and the percentages. Pay careful attention to how many are grayed out because they're dead, and how many have their ultimate abilities ready with the check marks. Every hero has an ultimate ability and they all charge up at different rates. Ults are incredibly reliable ways to get eliminations and to prevent eliminations for your own team. When a team has more ults than the other one going into a fight, they're at a big advantage. You always want to watch for how many a team has and how they utilize them. An ult that results in no kills or that fails to save anyone is usually considered a waste and could cost them the entire fight or even the game in some cases. Ults are that important, and it's why you'll see teams use them like a scarce resource. It's all about the ult economy. Now, there's a variety of ults in the game, but the ones to pay attention to the most are support and offense ultimates. Heroes like Mercy and Zenyatta have ults that heal their teammates for massive amounts. They can often be the counterplay to offensive ultimates like a Genji Dragon Blade or a Soldier Tactical Visor. If a support hero like a Zenyatta dies early in the fight and had his ult Transcendence, the enemy Genji is free to use his ult and likely kill enough people to win the fight. This is why you'll often see teams focus on killing support heroes first in a fight. Sometimes fights don't involve a ton of ult usage. That happens more often in games where teams play instant kill heroes like Widowmaker or Hanzo. These types of heroes can swiftly delete enemy players with good aim and smart positioning, so fights can shift wildly as these heroes secure kills. This is why it's important to watch the kill feed, especially since spectators don't always catch these types of kills. There's a lot of value in killing someone without having to use an ultimate, so these often are the flashiest plays in the league. Another thing to watch for is how teams position themselves. Many maps have high ground areas that teams will set up on. High ground not only gives you easier shots on the enemy team, but it allows you to back in and out of their line of sight to avoid getting shot yourself. High ground is often fought over in Overwatch because of the huge benefits it gives teams when it comes to winning a team fight. You can also keep an eye on offense heroes like Tracer and Genji to see how they sneak behind the enemy team to deal damage to their supports or to distract them from the fight. If you take the time to see where teams decide to position themselves, you'll see how they manage or don't manage to get any kills. Lastly, it's always good to keep track of the objective and the match timer in the top middle of the screen. If a team has 5 minutes to attack a point, they've got a lot of time to engage in fights, even if the goal is often to capture the objective the fastest. When there's 30 seconds or so left, it's the last fight, and teams will throw everything they've got to try and win or stall through overtime. Eagle-eyed viewers can even catch when a sneaky Tracer pushes a payload to a checkpoint without the enemy team noticing, or when a team forgets the objective exists and doesn't get on it. We call that a big C9. There's a lot more going on in any Overwatch League match than I could cover in this video, but if you use these fundamentals, they should help you start to see the patterns and understand the flow of each game. Even though they're pro players, they play a lot of the same heroes and use the same strategies, so it won't take you long to follow along. And if you like playing the game, some of this knowledge can help you win your own matches, or at least have a better understanding of what's going on. If you like this video, check out my channel. I have a lot of other videos like this that can help you understand the game. Subscribe if you want to see more, and as always, thanks for watching.